Hello everyone and welcome to Found in the Ground. I'm Chris and today I'm going to be showing you the ProFind 40 from Minelab. This is the latest pinpointer from Minelab. It arrived for me just yesterday, so let's get into it. Right, so opening the box here we can see we've got instruction manual, warranty information, battery. Minelab still using batteries. Is a little bit different from most of the modern ones. I think they need to up their game here and get some USB chargers on the go. I think it makes sense in this modern world that we're in, but that being said, that's a little bit lighter than carrying a power bank around in your bag. Good look at that. You've got a pouch here, you can put that on your belt, slot your pinpointer in, a lanyard, and of course the pinpointer itself. There we go. Really loving that red. It's not too bright and too garish. It's quite a subtle, deep red. Yeah, like that. So battery installation couldn't be simpler. You've got your 9-volt battery. You've got to unscrew this end here. This has got the deep grooves on it, an improvement on an earlier model in the 30 and 35, where it's a bit too smooth. And once you had muddy fingers and stuff, it was hard to get off. We'll pop our battery in. There we go. And then screw it back on. You don't want to screw it too tight. It does need to be waterproof, but you don't want to put too much pressure on the unit. So there we are, that's the ProFind installed and ready to go. Right, let's turn this bad boy on. We've got the on button there. Nice and simple, you just hold it, tells you that it's on. You've got the sensitivity options on here, plus and minus, just like you did on the 35. Now with the raised grooves to help you find those when you've got muddy gloves on, and indeed when your unit is muddy. So that's a real good feature on there, something that was lacking from sort of the older 30s and 35s. Right, speaker wise, yeah, big holes are still there in the speaker. It's still located underneath. This is an interesting one because you've got muddy fingers, you go underneath, you quite often put the mud in there, so that does get packed up with mud. But now with the holes being much bigger in there, little tap should get those out. Right, they claim this is 10% more powerful than the old ProFind 35, so let's test that. Right, let's get into the testing. So first of all, I've raised the surface up using a cardboard box with no metal bits in it, so there can't be any interference for the detectors. They're all going to be, or the two of them, I've got the 35 here and the 40, are going to be set on their maximum sensitivity. So let's get into the testing. So we're going to start with the easiest, which is going to be a sestertius, big bronze coin there. And what's going to happen is I'm going to take it along this piece of paper towards the pinpointer, and when it starts to beep, I'll then put a mark on the paper, and that will be the line for that one. We'll then move on to this Edward penny. So that's a medieval silver penny. Quite a nice example because it's not clipped, so it's about as big as they'll sort of get. A nice little thing, very thin obviously, so that'll be a different outcome I'm sure. And then the real hard one, really hard for me to show you, is a cut quarter. So that's about as small as we sort of find out in the field. As you know, there can be a real pig to find, even with a pinpointer. When you know it's in front of you, you've even dropped it and you're like, you know it's there, it still can't find it. So that'll be a really, really good test for them. So yeah, let's get into it. Turn the pinpointer on. Check it's on maximum. Yep, absolutely is. And let's get in with this sestertius. Oh, of course. All right, have our pencil ready. And let's see. Oh, let's try and hold that paper straight. Here we go. Come back a bit. There we go. So we'll mark that just in there. Let's try from the front. And that's actually surprised me. I thought it would be further away than that. And just for the heck of it, let's come in from this side as well. Lovely. So we'll mark that up. Let's get my pen out here. So that is the 35. Put it there. 35. Let's go in with the 40. Right, hopefully that's all level. Maximum. Yeah, it's a lot louder actually. That might be, there's less muck in it. Right, here we go then. Sestertius coming in on the 40. Let's see if it picks it up any quicker. Here it comes. Oh, hello. I should say so. Let's get the edge of it. It picks it up and then holds on to it. But yeah, it's about... Stop. Gosh, right, let's go in again. That point there, wasn't it? So that's quite considerable, isn't it? They said 10% more. I think that might be a little bit more, but this is a big coin. Right, let's go in from here. Oh, let's not do that. I'm going to mess with it. Okay, here we go. Oh no, that's very similar. So from the front it was a little bit closer, or further away I should say, but not much. Now, over this side. Again. There. So most notably was on this side here. Okay, that's interesting with the Sestertius. And that's the 40. I think we can remember that. Right. That's pretty much a benchmark then for the big coin. Let's go in with the Eddie Penny, and we'll go back to the 35. Maximum setting, and Eddie Penny. Let's see what happens. We'll come up a bit so we can do a new line. Oh, way past the Sestertius. Coming in, coming in. Gosh, that's almost on top of it, isn't it? I wonder if it's because it's so thin. Let's try it on its side. Yeah, it's really interesting, isn't it? You hit it. Oh, gosh, I need to blue tack this down. When you come in on the side, much harder. As expected, really. Come in like that. Right, how are we going to play this then, guys? We need to be able to show you. Let's go in sideways. That's then level. It's level where the Sestertius was. Oh, have I pushed the paper the wrong way? No, still right. That's actually further up there now, isn't it? It's more like there. That's interesting. I wonder if the silver has anything to do with that. And then from this side, oh dear, how bizarre. Let's come up a bit. That's interesting. That middle area, not as powerful as some of the other areas. There's not a consistency around that. I wonder what's going on there. Let's try this side. No, that's very interesting then. There seems to be like a wobble in the line around this. It's not one large open line, but we'll go from the same points. Let's bring it in. That's right down here. just to confirm this side again. Yeah, right in there. Okay, well that was interesting. Before we go over to the 40, let's get the cut half. Here we go. Cut half. Let's see what happens here. Teeny weeny little thing. Let's bring it in. Further down there. Definitely a little spot, isn't it? I've picked the only bit where it's weakest probably. Okay. It's interesting along the top then. The front of the pinpointer is more like there. But actually on the sides, as long as you're in the good spots. Alright, let's go in here. Okay, about there. And the other side. About there. Right, that's actually been really, really interesting. So that's the smaller the item, the harder obviously it is to find it, which makes sense. 35, 35, 35 and 35 over there on the penny. Right, let's switch out to the 40 and see what that can do. Okay, here we go with the 40 then, and we'll go straight in with the Eddie penny from the side. Yeah, it's slightly again ahead of where the 35 was there. Let's try on the front. 35 was quite good, wasn't it, on the penny on the front? Wow. Yeah, no, that's massive. That's way out here. Okay. And this side. Bring them in. Yeah, absolutely. Right there again. Well, that is interesting. So far it is showing to be more powerful. Right, let's bring in the cut quarter. Here she comes. No, I'm nearly touching it. It's not liking that at all. It's coming from the front. Yeah, and that is just in front of where it was on the 35. Perhaps I was holding it a bit bizarrely when I was coming in. Let's try this side. So that's in line with the 35 there. Let's try again on this side, holding it a bit better maybe. No, not as good on that side. Ah, but then when you go to different areas, it's interesting. There's a shape that goes around. So if we can probably show it with the Sestertius. Yeah, it's sort of something along the lines of of that, which is interesting. I thought it would just be a curve all the way around, so that is quite interesting. But anyway, from what I can see on here, I would say the 40 is at least 10% more powerful, certainly on the front and on the sides with the bigger coins. Well, that concludes my unboxing and testing of the new ProFind 40 from Minelab, and yeah, on paper at least, and most of the time, it does appear to outperform the 35 on the sensitivity, so that the distance at which it can pick up those items. But as I'm sure everyone will say, there are so many variables there. You saw if the angle I was holding the coins at, what angles the coins go at the pinpointer, so within the earth, if there's other metals in there, all of those other things. And this wasn't the most sterile environment either, the paper was moving around, but hopefully you got the gist of it. It was interesting to see that sort of the bubbly pattern that they produced, they're not quite as uniform all the way around as you would expect. And it does show that actually down here is more powerful than up here. So sometimes you're chasing something over here, thinking it might be there. It's probably for that reason. And on the end was actually quite powerful as well as perhaps you would expect. But no, pretty decent. It's still got all the same features as the 35. So you've got the ferrous tones on there. It's waterproof to 3 meters. And so on. So yeah, a good little upgrade. It's not too much more than the 35. You can find the link for both of these in a video description below. Use my code found in the ground at LP to get 10% off as well. And there we go. I hope you enjoyed that, guys. I know it could be a bit tenuous showing you these things, but I found it useful. Hope you did too, and I'll see you next time. Bye for now.